Hey, I just wanted to mention another thing to piggyback on everything. Now, the work experience that I had just recently, where I had a bad experience with the CEO guy um, who I was contracted with. So, what he does is actually really pretty cool. And that's why I really love the job. And it was disappointing that this experience happened. But whatever. He has a radio show. I won't say what it is. He has a radio show, and on his show, he invites CEOs of bigger corporations. He has a specific guideline, like they have to have a certain amount of employees, make a few million, some millions of revenue. I forgot what the number is, 50 million maybe revenue. Anyways, there are certain guidelines. He wants bigger corporations in the area of where he's located. So, he's been around for a while. And, anyways, my point is, what is one of the questions he asks on his show to CEOs? One of the questions is, what were you doing between the ages of 8 and 14? I think it is 8 and 14. What were you up to? And how does that bridge and connect to who you are today? So, this is what I think is phenomenal about unschooling. His question kind of piggybacked for me on the things I already value and believe. These people who come on this show have to know who they were, who they are. What were they? If you asked me what I was up to between ages 8 and 14, I would have, I think I would have no fucking clue what I was doing. I don't know. I think the only thing I remember between that time period is honestly being molested, and dealing with that weirdness and other kind of bad memories that are not that great. But if you ask me who I was, what was I interested in? What was I up to? I'd be like, I don't know. I have no idea. Totally blanked out that period of time in my life. But hopefully, I'm thinking that my kids will have an answer. Because I would know what they're up to, but I think that they would because I feel like they're living more consciously, like as conscious beings in their life. They're aware of what they're doing because they're doing what they want and love to do. Like if I would imagine that if somebody asked my youngest what was he doing between 8 in this period of time, he would say, well, I was busy trying to be an entrepreneur, uh, trying to make money with, various type of little business ideas. I had guinea pigs. I cut their nails. like, just I would hope. I would hope that they would have something to say about how this point in time in their life connects with what they will be doing in the future because it's all there. The thread is there and it's been there since the beginning and it's just gonna be there until they, forever. I feel like I hope that they grab onto that thread that is from the beginning to the end of who you are at your core, you know. I don't know why I'm finding it so hard to really put words onto all of this. But having kids has been the greatest demonstration of seeing a persona come into a body on this earth and the thread of their being and who they are. And even their temperaments and all of that stuff is wrapped up in it too. Anyways, it's pretty grand and fascinating. And it's not just me touting about my kids. I'm talking about everyone. If I was asked what is the thread of my life that I've seen from being little, like 2 or 3, all the way up till now, this is sad, but it's been wanting to get away from my mother, you know? Like pushing her away, not wanting her to hug me and constrict me. I remember that when I was little. And I was also told that when I was around that age that I hated hug so much from her that I would cry, that I would want to, you know, that she said in a laughing manner that she would use that as a punishment, like a hug, and sure, it's funny, like, oh, yeah, you know, but why is that the only, why is that the thread, you know? But there's other ones like when I was a little younger. If I sit and think about it, some other things might start coming to me. But I remember I like to do the Mickey Mouse Club. MICKEYMOUSE. Mickey Mouse Club. They had this little exercise thing sometimes in the show. Like I remember it faintly. And I think I had done that. I don't know if I did it a lot, but I remember doing that. For some reason, that memory sticks out. I don't know if it was one day, a week that I did it. I have no idea. But I'm still the same person. That's what I like to do when I would first wake up in the morning. I love to exercise or work out or whatever. That brings me great joy. So I'll probably have to sit and think about what are some of my threads. Maybe I need to ask my inner self that, hey, inner self or God, what are some of my threads from when I was little till now, to help me to reveal myself to me some more, I think that would probably be really helpful in my life for me. Because yesterday I was thinking, I wonder if I would enjoy being a paralegal. I thought to myself, sometimes I see remote paralegal or legal assistant jobs on Indeed. And I thought, I wonder if I would like being a paralegal, Maybe I would enjoy that. But I'm almost like, a part of me is like, oh God, I would hate to start that and then find out I don't like it. But I'm going to stay curious and open to that idea. Anyways, I hope that you know who you are, and I hope that you can see the threads of who you are from when you were younger till now, because I feel like for me that's tainted, because somebody would, like, for instance, if I were to, my mother, there's kind of like a negative cloud around that for me, kind of like, oh yeah, you were stubborn and you're still stubborn today. You know how people say those negative things about you, but it's like being strong-willed is not a problem. You need that, in your life. And that should be recognized I think it should be recognized as a good thing. To be stubborn in who you are and what you know that you want. All right, everybody, I'm done rambling. Have a wonderful day.